Have you got this?
Gestures.
What's up, legends? So we're working on my Stato again in this video. We are going to be doing a major service water pump radiator along with the coolant flush, change the oil, change spark plugs, all that things. So that'll be one part of the video. Then we'll move on to doing some bushes. We're going to do the front end control arm bushes, sway bar links, and then do the rear cradle bushes. And then after that, we'll be moving into the interior where we're putting a new ignition barrel in it because sometimes it's a little bit sticky, and we'll replace all the door locks and stuff to match. And then I also have a indicator, I think it's pretty sure it's indicator, could be wiper stalk. One of them was worn out, so I bought a brand new one to replace that. But anyway, yeah, let's get on with it. So I thought my water pump was leaking, but the water pump doesn't actually look that old. Then I noticed that there's actually coolant on top of the water pump. And if I had had a better look, if I can get you guys to see that. But behind the, just in there, there's coolant sitting in the inlet manifold. So I think it's actually the gasket here for the thermostat that's been leaking. So I actually did buy one of those, so I might just replace that rather than taking the water pump off. I think I had to take the radiator out anyway because I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure the radiator was leaking. Place that and I'll just double check it. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave the water pump. I will double check around the water pump, but it looks like the leak that I've got is actually from the thermostat housing. So I've decided that I'm going to pressure test it just to be sure. Probably should have done that already, but yeah, I was fairly confident where it was leaking, and it isn't where I thought it was leaking. So I think that I better chuck the pressure tester on it now, just so I can be sure that it's coming out of the thermostat gasket. I just want to make sure it's not coming out of the water pump, because while I've got a part, if it is the water pump, I've got a water pump and I'll replace it. But the water pump doesn't really look that old, so if it's not buggered, it's probably not worth replacing. Anyway, let's just chuck this coolant pressure tester on and see how we go. Probably can't see, but it's dripping off the top coolant hose just there. So I don't even know if that bottom leaking on the radiator, whether that is or not, because that could have just been coolant that was dripping off this hose. But yeah, it's definitely leaking from the thermostat for sure, because that's running down the side of the motor again. You probably can't see that. But yeah, it's currently dripping from the thermostat down onto the block there and then down the motor. So very confident that the thermostat's leaking, and that this hose is also leaking. But yeah, as far as my new water pump and radiator, I might set them aside as spares for now, because it doesn't look like that it is that leaking. It's had a new radiator, hoses and water pump put on at some point, and it just looks like they just haven't nipped up the hoses, or because they're brand new hoses, they probably just need a bit of a nip up. Got a bit of a leak there, and then the thermostat, maybe they didn't do it, or again, it might need a nip up, but I'll just pull it apart. I've got a new seal, I'll chuck that in there. At least I know that's good. But yeah, there's no point in replacing a radiator and a water pump if it's fine. So yeah, if it's not leaking, I'll not replace it. So we'll nip that hose up, replace the water pump thermostat housing, replace the thermostat housing gasket, and then yeah, we'll pump it up again and see how we go. Well, what it's looking like is I'm just an idiot, because it was the the heater tap. It was a heater tap that was leaking. Just had a brand new, basically all the coolant hoses in the engine bay look like they've been replaced, like the whole heating and cooling system. And so it was probably done a few years ago, I'd say, and all the new rubbers shrunk a little bit, so all the hose clamps needed to be done up. So pretty much I've just gone around doing things up, and it seems to have stopped all the leaks. So I think I bought a brand new radiator and water pump for nothing. But, well, not really for nothing. I'm going to have this car forever. So it's good to have spares, because you never know when you're not going to be able to get them again. So yeah, I'll just be putting them on the shelf as spares, and we'll crack on with the rest of the job. But I'll take it as a win. You got this?
Gestures.
Oh, just camping video on a camper trailer, and the whole time this bloke, I can't remember what campers it was, but the whole time she's like and she was serious.
Wow.
I was like, fuck, this video is terrible.
Maybe get you two.
I've done fixed the coolant leak, tidied that up. I've done the major service on it. So now, I'm going to jump into doing suspension bushes, and then after that we'll do the ignition barrel and the interior stuff. But while I'm dirty, may as well keep doing some bushes and stuff now. So we're going to start off with the rear subframe bushes, the big circle ones at the front. So they can be a bit tricky to get done, especially getting that main bolt undone. So yeah, let's crack into it. So as you can see, I undid that bolt with the breaker bar, and then the very last of it I did with the rattle gun. But really, depending on how it feels, this one felt fine, like after I'd done it a couple threads, so I did the rest with the rattle gun. But if those feel a bit iffy, I'll undo the whole thing by hand, because realistically, because they put the Loctite on there from factory, I've found, I don't know whether you guys have had this problem, but I've had it before, especially on wrecks when we're pulling them apart. When I used to own a wreckers, but if you just rattle those bolts, they can get bound up, and then you're in big trouble. So you really don't want to do that in your own car or a customer's car. So yeah, just undo the bolt by hand with the breaker bar. As far as it feels comfortable and you know you're good, then you can undo it with the rattle gun. Don't put it back in with the rattle gun like with the same bolt. I usually take the bolt out, then I tap the hole just to clean out the factory Loctite. I put the bolt on the Y wheel, which you'll see, I'll show you both of these, and then I'll put new Loctite on the bolt when I put it back in, because if you try and put it back in with the same Loctite again, it'll bind up on the thread and you'll end up ruining a thread, and then it's extreme. I've fixed one of the bolts, but it's extremely hard to do, so it's much easier to just spend another 5 minutes, tap the hole, clean the bolt thread, put new Loctite on it, put it back together, and you're all hunky-dory. It also helps, I know this would probably be hard to do if you were doing this in the ground, but I've got this transmission jack there holding the pressure of the cradle, because if you don't do that, you want to take the pressure off the cradle before you take the bolt out, so you can tell that it doesn't have any pressure on the bolt, because otherwise the diff cradle will want to slip backwards, and if it does that, it just makes it harder to line up the hole when you go to put it back together. So anyway, yeah, let's get back into it. sort of thought before I do the ignition barrel door lock and figure out this indicator thing, which my indicators are working at the moment, so I'm kind of thinking that's it. The relay, not the switch. Yeah, I thought I'll take it for a drive, seeing as I've done all this work, and just make sure everything else I've done's good. And then, yeah, and then we'll come back and make sure nothing's leaking and stuff, that I've nipped up all these coolant leaks. I'm a little bit worried that I've mucked up the rocker cover gasket. Only because I'm paranoid. I don't actually know why I think that, because I was looking at it, it all looks fine, but you know, just paranoid man. Always think I'm doing shit wrong. Yeah, so we'll go for a drive now and then come back and give it a check over. I haven't driven this thing for, I don't know, maybe a month or two. Just been sitting in the shed waiting for me to get around to doing all this stuff, which was silly because there was nothing, the car was not drivable, but I just wasn't driving it because I had all this stuff here to do. I thought it would force me to get it done. Love this car though. I don't think it'll handle any different with the new bushes because it already drove really well, but you know, didn't hurt to do them. At least they're done and they don't need to be done, because I've got to get it roadworthy on this thing. So I sort of thought I'll get it all nipped up as good as I can, and then that way when I go in they might just pick on a few little things, but other than that it'll be ready to go. Anyway, let's go for a drive. So I took the big boat for a drive, and it's driving really good. So I think the spark plugs definitely helped, because the spark plugs, I don't know whether, I'm pretty sure I put a picture of them, they were pretty dirty. Didn't like they've been changed for a while, so yeah, they definitely helped. I think the leads probably need to be done, but I'm not going to do that myself. I'm going to be bothered. I'll just pay one of the boys to do that. But yeah, now I'm going to do this ignition barrel, and it doesn't seem to have any coolant leaks either, so that's a plus. But yeah, I'm going to start doing this ignition barrel now and the indicator stalk. I remember the indicator stalk was playing up, which probably was just a flusher can, but the reason I bought a new indicator stalk is because my cruise control doesn't work. So I'm thinking maybe that could be the problem. So yeah, and I just realized my wiper stalk's quite gross. So if the indicator stalk I got is good, because it's the best one I could find aftermarket, I'll buy from the same brand the wiper stalks, so at least they're new and good condition, because they're both pretty gross looking. Yeah, anyway, let's get on it. Alright legends, that's the end of this video, but don't be sad, it's okay. I've got more content coming. I've just bought another car that's behind me here, and yeah, that'll be coming on the channel soon. Tossing and turning what to do with it, flip it or keep it. I'm at 99.9999999% sure it's going to be a big project. But there is a chance, you never know, that it might sell. But I think I'll end up keeping it. I've also got some other news in the works. It's pretty crazy. I haven't said anything about it yet, and I don't want to say too much because there's every chance it's not going to happen, it's not going to come through, but I'm keeping all my energy positive, and yeah, I'm hoping that it goes through, and that yeah, I can reveal it to you guys, because it's a big YouTuber move, but yeah, we'll see if it goes through. There will be more content coming on the Stato as well. I just got to be dealing with this one first, and I also just waiting on turbo ECU and injectors for the mini truck to finish the turbo kit. The Stato will be doing a bit more performance-based stuff soon. Yeah, this car, we're going to be getting it on the road and then start doing some mods. I've already picked up some bits and pieces for it, which you might see in the back of the mini truck from where I am. I hardly doubt it, but if you you've got a good eye, you might see some stuff in there. And then yeah, the VL will start working on that again. And then I am busting at the knees. I don't even know if that's a saying, but I feel like I'm busting at the knees. Kind of sounds bad. Very excited to try and hopefully find myself a Kinger soon. So yeah, there will see content on that. I've bought myself a new work car, so maybe some content on that. I haven't really shown my work car for a while, but I miss my old Colorado, so maybe I went and got another one. Who knows? But yeah, there's more content coming. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.